Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and let's go. We begin the day with Ripple wins US patent for new Oracle-based smart contract design. Now, very cool way to kick off today's episode with this type of news, because obviously with patents, they take a long time in the making, and this particular update is an important one as we begin the journey of really kicking off the bull run. As I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, XRP's bull run really won't begin until we get to about $3.30. That's when the real bull run will begin for XRP. So right now we're not even anywhere near where we're going to be in a short space of time, like within the next 10 to 12 weeks. It's going to be really phenomenal to see what goes on. But patents like this are a great way to kick off. Now, the other thing as well, and we will go over the charts today as well, but the dominance of XRP versus Bitcoin is about to test a very important trend line, a trend line that has been around for 4 years, and we are very close to hitting it. So once that happens, we can see moves of 7, 10, 20% in the upward trajectory. So a long time in the making, from about April 2017 all the way to here. And yeah, look, very exciting to see that come along. Now, XRP, so Ripple and SEC filed a joint motion to extend time until June 9 to meet and confer regarding document reductions and sealing of certain exhibits, hoping to avoid burdening the court with unnecessary disputes. So in regards to this particular part of the case, they're going to meet together, try and do this outside of the court, which I think is great that these kind of negotiations are happening in the background. And it'll be very exciting to see what comes out of it. But the fact that they're already negotiating, the fact that the way that it's all rolling out, like I've mentioned for a long time now, a settlement to me it looks on the horizon, and I honestly cannot wait to bring you that news. Other breaking news to come out of today is that when it comes to the XRP token and Europe, the Central Bank of France eyes XRP as the basis for all digital euros. So more information has come out today in regards to what that means, but essentially, the Central Bank of France is considering the Ripple and XRP as a potential platform for issuing the digital euro. I mean, that is about as big as they come, like from a news perspective, to potentially have XRP part of the euro, digital version of euro. I mean, that would be astronomical for the Ripple price as soon as that news comes out. So the fact that all these different nations are talking about XRP, are talking about the ledger, are talking about instant liquidity, and they're considering to partnering up with Ripple at a very high level. So there is talks about it happening within a couple of weeks. This type of news will definitely be keeping well on top of it. I mean, I like what Bull Run Wonka said here. European Central Bank on issuing a digital euro for cross-border payments will make a decision in weeks. I mean, that is about as big as the news comes. So let's check out what the interview had to say, and then we'll unpack what was actually said throughout this interview.
A digital euro may become important if a global or euro stablecoin or a foreign CBDC were to largely displace existing euro area means of payments. In the future, if the euro system goes ahead with the project, and we will take a decision in the coming weeks, it will also discuss whether cross-border use of the digital euro should be possible. If this were the case, a well-designed digital euro could not only preserve the role of the euro in domestic payments, but also enhance its global role by reducing frictions, costs, and risks of euro-denominated cross-border payments.
I mean, that is absolutely massive. I mean, it does not get any better than that. I mean, within a couple of weeks' time, we will know, and we will have a very good indication of whether it is, XRP Ripple's system that will be used and implemented. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it is going to be a phenomenal month. I can just feel it. It's in the air. It's been a long, long time in the making, and I think the news will come out one after another. And so while America is disputing and discussing and having all its issues with Ripple, you got the other part of the world, in Asia and Europe, which are extremely pro Ripple and pro XRP. So very, 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 very exciting. Let's jump into Atani. Let's see what Atani is telling us today. All right. So inside Atani at the moment, what we got here is we've got the 1 hour, we got the daily chart at the moment opened up. And inside the daily chart, we can see that we have crossed over. The MACD, the blue and the orange have crossed over, and we are in an uptrend. We can see the RSI sitting towards the bottom, so into the oversold section. And overall in the Bollinger, we're sort of sitting around, about exactly the same as where we were yesterday. I mean, we didn't really have that much movement yesterday. I mean, the lowest that we got to was like 99 cents. There's been hardly any movement. So we're trending sideways at the moment, and we're looking for a signal. We're waiting for that signal to arrive. On the MACD, on the hourly chart, we can see that we crossed into bearish, and now we're about to cross back into a bullish signal. So the maximum that we dropped was about an hour ago. We dropped to $1, and now we're at $1.02. So very, very close margins, very, very short margins at the moment as far as, what is happening and what is going on. But we didn't, it was last time we were in the 89 cents mark was on the 31st of May. So there's not been much movement at all, but on the hourly chart, it does look like we're about to go back into a bullish signal. With the 4 hours, again, not much movement has been going on, and it does look like the MACD, they're close together, but they haven't crossed over. So for me, I think we're well singing a bullish pattern at the moment. I mean, on the 12-hour, it certainly is, the gap is moving on the MACD. So that means that we are uptrending into a bullish pattern. On the Bollinger, we're sort of sitting almost at the end of the Bollinger for here. But we are expecting now a move to the upside and to continue to push forward. So exciting, when you look at this and you look the way the structure is at the moment, very bullish. Very, very exciting news. I mean, the Euro news will set things alive, and these charts will blow up on the day that the news launches. And as always, with news, extreme high volatility throughout that news. But we also know that governments can take their sweet time, so let's not think that it's just going to be a couple of weeks. It could be a couple of weeks, it could be 2 months by the time they actually wrap their heads around it. But this has been years in the making, and the relationships that Ripple have been building have been years in the making. And Ripple does turn 9 in June as well, so something to definitely keep in mind. So very, very exciting. Let's have a look at some of the drawings and what they tell us. Okay, so let's kick off. I think from here, what we could see is we could potentially either be moving sideways a little bit more before we break this sort of 110 and continue to push forward towards 150, or we might drop to about 90 cents and then begin the ride. So keep an eye out for those both, because that could be happening. I think the most likely scenario from here is jumping to about 34%, 35% very soon and getting to about $1.60. So that, to me, this pattern at the moment looks very, very bullish. We are still in this formation. So again, we could drop to about 90 before we go up. But I think this particular formation is giving me a lot of I mean, the way that I see it at the moment, this pattern is forming, and so breaking that $1.15 will be the end of this, and then from there we will push to $1.60 and beyond. And at the moment we are, back testing this particular line, and that line is, we've supported it, tested it again, supported it, tested it again, and so I think from here we've set up a new layer, and so from now onwards we will be pushing forward really, really good. So very, very exciting times. So we will break out from here. Once we break out, then the breaking of the 159 will get us up into the $4 mark, and it's a really important area to break and an exciting time as well. And that this is based on what we know today. Future news coming out, Europe coming in, all this stuff coming out will just elevate this to a whole new level. But we're going to walk before we run, and that's why let's look at what it is today, and then as news comes out, I'll be bringing it to you updates on demand about this and how it all evolves and what do we do from here. So if you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.